Hi, my name is Charlotte Ducos. I am a teacher, and I am planning on voting in favor of Prop 14. I originally was not in favor of a district split. I worked for Alpine School District for about 11 years now, coming on 11 years, and have had a really great experience. And so when we first started talking about a split, I was actually against. But it became really apparent a couple of things in recent events that have made me change my mind about that. The first really big one that caught my attention was obviously the failure of the bond. That bond failed because of failed votes on the east side, which were largely because they didn't want to fund schools on the west side. I just don't think, based on that last vote, that we will get another bond passed, and that's problem number one. Problem number two was back in the spring when the legislature closed one of our options for funding, and we knew we needed a school to relieve Westlake. We had one last shot at funding using the mechanism that we had planned to fund that school. And at the last second, that school was taken off the agenda. That meeting was the only opportunity we had to talk about that school without losing that form of funding. And taking it off that agenda meant no funding, no school. I don't know where they think those students are going to go, but at Cedar Valley right now, we have 3,500 students, right around there, give or take, kind of always fluctuating. By the time we send our ninth graders to the new middle school and take maybe 1 or 2 years growth, we're going to be right back up there again. And so if we can't fund to relieve Westlake, then that means that when we're ready to split out here, we won't have the funding for that either, because we won't have taken care of Westlake yet. We can't continue to not pass bonds. We can't continue to not fund schools. We have to go to a more local control if we can't rely on the full board to be on board for all kids.